This here is my Creality Ender 5 Max. This is an absolutely awesome printer. It's large. You are able to print large things with this, like this Batman helmet that I've printed in one go, or the shield that comes along with it that I'm still assembling right now. This was done in 4 parts, and ever since I've had this printer, I've been in love with it. I've been printing a lot of things like the Batman helmet, and even smaller things like these paint holders, but also just some random utility things. I've been printing a lot with it, like non-stop. Ever since I've got it, I've been in love with this printer, and then I got the enclosure for it, and that's when things started to go differently, because this enclosure has one giant printer breaking design flaw in it. And at first glance you wouldn't see it, but I'm gonna remove this panel right here so you can see a little bit better. So the design flaw in this printer and the enclosure is that this cable, it's sticking out way too much, and it only needs this much. It's not giving a lot of headway here. So if the extruder is moving, this is going to be touching the top of the enclosure. It's going to be scratching, and in my case, this cable broke on a couple of areas. And in my case, it actually, fire came out. The printer head was moving, the extruder head was moving, and because of that, an electrical current ran through the wires, and that caused fire to come out of the cable. And the fire reached the top of the enclosure, so now there's a scorch mark on the enclosure itself. So I took the enclosure off so you can see the scratch marks. I'm just going to move it with the light so you can tell that these are all scratch marks from the cable touching the top of the enclosure. And then there is a scorch mark on there as well. Now, what Creality has done, I've contacted them and they sent me a link to a part that you need to 3D print in order to have the cable bend in a very soft 90-degree angle. However, they do not mention this anywhere before you buy the enclosure, before you buy the printer, or when assembling the printer. A month ago, they have uploaded a video on how to assemble the enclosure, and in that also there is no mention of this little bracket that you need to print. I am probably far from the first person that this has happened to, because the moment I've contacted them, they immediately sent me that link with pictures and stuff, and they even recommended a type of filament, PETG, to print the bracket in. Now, when I was further in contact with Creality, they advised me to return to the store, the website where I bought the printer, and it took months of contact between them, between Creality and myself, but now I am finally getting a replacement cable, a free roll of PETG filament, and also they are going to fabricate, because it wasn't fabricated still, fabricate a new enclosure lid for me so that I can finally have everything up and running and in neatly working order again. The reason why I'm making this video is that because I still love this printer. I do, and I really recommend it to everyone that wants to print large things, especially cosplayers. This thing is phenomenal. But I want people to know in advance that this cable is going to break when you have the enclosure. So you will need the bracket that comes along with it. And the reason why I'm making this video is like a heads up, like a warning. Buy this printer, buy the enclosure, but print that bracket beforehand. Otherwise, you're gonna wait months before you have a replacement cable and everything that you need. I just received the new cable. I already took the old one out, so now I'm gonna see if it works. So, moment of truth. Plug the cable in. right, that's in. Now to plug the cable into the printer itself. There we go. Okay, so I've got the printer hooked up, machine startup in progress, and where it used to break is when the print head moves. So let's try. All right, so far so good. So next up for me is to change filaments, because there's still a little bit filament in there that has been broken off, and switch it over to PETG that I received in the mail as well, so that I can print the bracket for it. All right, so I've sent the file for the bracket over to the printer, and now it's going to print, and we'll see in just over an hour how it fared. All right, so now I've got the bracket printed so that you can bend this cable into this angle. So let's do that. It takes a little bit of force, and then it's a matter of putting it all in there, and then with the added clips that you print as well, you just clip everything into place. And that should do it. I've now put the enclosure on there, and still it doesn't have much room. So let's, I mean, it is still touching the top of it. Just a little bit. But this way, I don't think that the cable will get scratched. So it has like millimeters of room. This is not a lot. So let's do a little test. Let's move this over all the way. To the front.